Howdy, folks. This is another episode of the Main Topic Podcast. Today I'm joined by Nsls members, Jennifer and Chaden. We're going to be talking about their personal experiences with the program and what it means to them and a myriad of other topics. I'll start with a question for Jennifer. What compelled you, what drew you in to join Nsls?
For me, leadership has always been a big part of my life, having been involved in Girl Scouts since I was a young child and reading up on the different benefits of Nsls. I thought that was something that could not only help me in college and be able to be involved on the campus community, but I could use to further my leadership within other organizations as well.
Gotcha. Now, I understand that Nsls is an acronym, so could y'all tell me what that stands for?
National Society of Leadership and Success.
Gotcha. And what does your day-to-day life, and this could be a question for either or both of you, what does your day-to-day life look like as a Nsls member?
Well, we're on the board, so ours is a whole lot busier than the average members. But we host orientations, leadership training days, which is the steps that you have to take to be an inducted member. So we host those. We have e-board meetings to discuss things like induction that's coming up soon and community service events.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned earlier that you have a board, and I see on your shirt it says the executive board. So y'all are both members of that?
Yes.
Okay. And how many people in total are on the executive board?
6.
6 people in total. Okay. And about how large is our chapter here at Wallace?
Over 2,000 members since the founding of this chapter in 2020.
Gotcha.
But there's about 1,000 members active.
Gotcha. So very large amount of the student body anyway. And what about the requirements?
You need to have at least a 2.5 GPA. You also need to show some leadership skills of some degree. And then we will send you a invitation, usually on your second semester. And then you can join. You have to pay a $95 fee, a little more if you want to get the induction kit and or if you want to get the advanced or executive certification offering as well.
Gotcha. Now, could you walk me through what the process is after you get the letter in the mail or however you're notified, and then you pay the membership fee? What does it look like going forward after that?
After that, you will log into the website or app, and you will RSVP for an orientation, would be your first step to be an inducted member. And then you would proceed to go to either an online or in-person orientation. After your orientation is concluded, you will go to a leadership training day and attend 3 speaker broadcasts, which you can either attend with us or online on your own time, as well as S&Ts, 3 S&Ts.
Gotcha. And could you tell me what the S&Ts are?
Success networking teams.
Okay, gotcha. And how big are those groups?
Anywhere to 3 to 5 people.
Gotcha.
Since we're a community college, the success networking teams don't always stay together like they do on a university. Universities, they try to stay in one big group, but since it's a community college and it's hard to keep people's schedules aligned, usually it's just whoever's there and present.
I know earlier you both mentioned that you're on the executive board, and then you said there's 6 people on the executive board right now?
Yes.
Gotcha. And what are those 6 positions, and what do they do?
There is the advisor, the chapter president, the vice president, the IT coordinator, and the secretary. Also, she has 2 positions, technically, and I forgot what that one is. Publicity.
Gotcha. So, Chaden in particular, what is your position?
I am the chapter president.
Gotcha. And then Jennifer, you said you hold 2 positions?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the publicity chair as well as the IT coordinator, which we kind of deemed the social media coordinator.
You touched on orientation a minute ago. Would y'all be willing to share what y'all's orientation experiences were like when you initially became members?
When I did it, I was able to do mine completely online, going through like a little workbook type thing and watching a few videos online. We're now actually offering the orientations on campus, which Chaden will be able to tell you more about because he's actually been hosting those this semester.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we will play the videos. We'll ask questions, answer the questions with the groups, and kind of get to know and kind of break the ice, especially for some of the new members on campus, and learn to be more open and make friends on campus.
Now, what about for you in particular, Chaden? Have you met a bunch of folks, made a bunch of friends through the program?
I have.
And what about you, Jennifer? Is there anybody, and you could name drop if you wanted to, but anybody in particular that, you've just made like a great connection with through NSLS?
Yeah, there has been some people that I've made connections with as well that I would not have met without the program.
Now, Jennifer, it is to my understanding that, throughout the program, you're trying to develop your leadership skills, and maybe that means getting out of your comfort zone. So I understand that you had to deliver a speech. Was it at the induction ceremony?
Yes, it was at the induction ceremony last spring.
Gotcha. And could you tell me about that and what your speech was about?
Yes. I was invited to share the student success story last spring about how NSLS had impacted me on my journey as a nursing student. And my nursing school journey has been anything but normal. My nursing school journey originally started in spring of 2020 at another college. And then COVID hit, and that just threw everything into turmoil. It was challenge after challenge after challenge with failed classes and having to retake classes, starting over from scratch, moving colleges because I was just not meshing with faculty. Now I'm finally sitting here, set to finish the program in August with my RN license. Last February, the day before my 24th birthday, I was able to take my LPN licensure exam thanks to Wallace State having that program, and just celebrated 1 year of having a nursing license. A quote that was said during that speech that I remember hearing stood out to them was, "Success isn't built on success. It's built on failure. It's built on struggles, and sometimes it's even built on catastrophe." And the amount of people I heard come up to me after that, and even days later, saying that quote meant a lot to them because they had been through so many struggles.
Jaden, do you have anything to add?
I was a homeschool student all of my life. I decided to get my GED at 16 through Wallace 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And so being a homeschool student, even though we actually did have a lot of homeschool groups that we were a part of, I was not always the biggest to work in teams. I was more of a solo guy.
Yeah.
And definitely through my degree and also the NSLS, I have learned to work in teams and my leadership abilities.
So Jennifer, I guess you alluded to it earlier, but what are you studying here at Wallace State?
I'm actually in the nursing program.
Shocker. And you've, from my understanding, you've enjoyed that thus far, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Is there any particular, I guess, instructor or professor that you've just really enjoyed that you think has contributed to your success?
I will say Miss Roper has actually been a big part of my story because last spring I was going through a hard time with my grandmother's health rapidly declining, and she was the one I was able to go to, and she was encouraging me, and she was one of the first ones to check on me and make sure I was okay after she found out my grandmother passed away, and actually gave me the idea last spring for graduation to go visit my grandmother in my cap and gown and to get an LPN pin and have my grandmother pin me as an LPN. So now that's a memory I'll have forever that I would not have had if Miss Roper had not given me that idea.
And that's a great thing. I'm glad you got to experience that. So Chaden, what are you studying here on campus?
I'm studying mechatronics.
Gotcha. And what are you hoping to do with mechatronics after you graduate or finish the program?
I'm hoping to go to some sort of industry, maybe automotive, maybe Amazon. I'm not sure. I'm kind of just throwing names around right now. But I do want to go into some sort of maintenance at some sort of factory or something.
Gotcha. And then I guess back to Jennifer. Is there any particular hospital you're looking at or clinic that you'd like to be a nurse in?
Ideally, I want to work in something pediatrics.
Of course, I got another question for both of you. I'll start with Jennifer, though. Do you have any transfer plans after you finish up your tenure here at Wallace?
My plan is to go ahead and go into the workforce, maybe work for a few years, and then potentially go ahead and get my bachelor's. But I haven't decided if I'm going to go ahead and go back for my bachelor's just because my nursing school journey has been so long thus far.
Gotcha. And then what about you, Jaden?
Currently, no. But if I do go into a company and they want me to go get an engineering degree or want me to go get a bachelor's degree or something, I may pursue that.
Gotcha. Now, I asked Jennifer a little earlier if she had a instructor or professor or somebody that was a big influence on her. Chaden, do you have a instructor or professor that was a big influence on you?
Yes, Joe Hendricks. He is the head over the mechatronics department, and he is one got me my job over there in the mechatronics department as the lab assistant, as well as been an amazing instructor and really helped me through a lot of my learning.
And how do y'all manage your responsibilities to NSLS, and how do you balance that with like academic responsibilities?
I'd say it's definitely not easy. I also work here on campus, so that also at least puts me on campus. So if we have orientation or something, I'm always available to host. And luckily everything is usually in the afternoons, so I am off of work or out of school. But it definitely does conflict sometimes, especially if I have online classes and need to work on those.
I originally signed up for the IT coordinator role because looking at the different position descriptions, I'm like, with the nursing school schedule that changes every semester, and sometimes even during the semester, I'm like, that's something I can do to be able to be involved that's flexible enough to work around my schedule, because it's just managing our social media, creating and managing an email for the organization. So I'm like, that's something I could do on my time and still be able to be involved.
Jennifer, Chaden, thank y'all for joining me today. I appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Here I'm joined by two brand spanking new Nsls members, Morgan and Ashley. And today we're just going to talk about the program, their personal experiences, and just a myriad of other things, whatever's on their hearts and minds at the time. Morgan, what brings you to Nsls?
Me personally, I really like the fact that they help you grow with your leadership and help you grow as a person as well. And me personally, that's something that I needed because I've always been a shy person, especially as a little kid. You want to make friends and everything, and if you're not in that mindset and you don't see yourself as a leader, how can you do that?
What brings you to Nsls?
I think pretty sure the same concept. I grew up as a shy kid, and I grew up with like older people, so I was never around people my age. So leadership wasn't a sign for me. Like, it wasn't something I looked into because I was just nervous as a kid. Like, I didn't see myself as a leader. I see myself as a follower because I have older siblings. And so NSLS really helped me evolve into talking to more people, learning how to be a leader, and advancing in studies.
I understand that y'all are both brand new members of Nsls. So what was that process like for y'all to become members?
Well, we basically joined at the same time, around the same time. It was fall semester for both of us. Especially new to Wallace, it was nice to know that you're sought out, brand new, fresh out of college, or not college, I'm so sorry, high school.
Gotcha.
And knowing that there's people who do want you here.
Gotcha. So y'all are both freshmen here on campus?
Yes.
What are y'all studying here?
I'm actually studying paralegal.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm studying forensic science, forensic investigation.
Gotcha. And Morgan, what are you hoping to do with paralegal once you finish the program?
Well, I'm really hoping to become a real estate law paralegal because that's what very much interests me right now, especially having that as a night class on Tuesdays with Miss Nicholas.
Gotcha.
It's more complicated than other laws that you get to learn about, so it's pretty interesting to me.
Gotcha. And then what about you, Ashley?
After, I hope to go to university to get my degree in forensic pathology.
Okay.
But I chose to get my degree here at Wallace first so I could work while learning and being able to pay for my college.
Gotcha. Yes, all very compelling things. I have an aunt who's a forensic pathologist.
Really?
And I think she loves it. She's been doing it for years.
That's crazy.
I want to say she graduated from UAB.
Really?
I could be wrong, though. Oh, well. But I know she's a forensic pathologist. That's what matters. That's the connection there. So, Morgan, is there anybody in particular that is, I guess, just been a great influence onto you, maybe a professor or instructor?
I'd actually have to go with my family, specifically my grandparents and my mother. My mother has always worked hard her life. She's had double jobs. She's been through so much, and her dad was there for her, and knowing he was there for me for as long as he was alive for, as well as my dad's dad, who actually owns his own business when he was alive. It was nice to see how those hardworking people and them influence me to be another hardworking person and show me working hard can get you so far in life.
Gotcha. Yes, that's all great and very encouraging. Now, what about you, Ashley? Is there a professor, instructor, maybe a family member? I don't know, maybe even a dog could be.
So mine would be my mom and Dr. Hall. She is the person that is over all of the criminal justice classes. I'm a first generation, and my parents didn't go to school. They barely finished elementary. And so when I first met Dr. Hall, I wasn't very involved in school. Like, I was encouraged. I had good grades, but I didn't believe in myself. And when I first met Dr. Hall, she's an amazing teacher. She's hands-on. She's the type of teacher that asks you about your day. She talks to each of her students. She tries to get to know each of her students. And she comes from a first-generation family, so she truly helped me evolve to where I am now. She's overall amazing. She's one of the best teachers I've ever met.
Now, let's see. So I guess going on along those same lines of being at school and being on campus, what have been y'all's favorite classes so far?
Probably my paralegal ones. I mean, you learn so much from it. I mean, you learn how to write as a paralegal. You learn memos. You learn different laws that go with different cases. Like I've said before, it's very interesting.
What about you, Ashley?
I think mine would have to be advanced criminalistics with Dr. Hall, because we have no lectures. And so we do labs that take 3 hours long, 2 hours long. And it's just all hands-on overall. So that's my favorite class.
Yes, and I think that's a great thing about Wallace. I think everything has to have a hands-on component, and Wallace does it very well. What does that process look like? What are you doing in those labs?
Our class starts at 9:30. So as soon as we get there, we sit down and we wait for everybody to get there. And we end up doing all sorts of labs. We have soil labs, we have fingerprint labs, we have drug analysis, we even have color analysis, pen analysis, and even lipstick analysis.
Okay.
So we do all sort of variations of labs, and they truly are amazing because Wallace does do a lot for the forensics program. Although it's not a big program, we have a lot because of them.
Gotcha. And has there been a favorite lab that you've done?
I think mine would have to be the fingerprint analysis because we got to take off fingerprints off of like glass, doorknobs, and we got to see them under like UV lights. So we got to use different powders to make them neon. We got to take photos of them, and that just had to be my favorite lab.
You know, now that you mention that, Wallace hosts a thing called the Sheriff Youth Leadership Academy over the summer, so I did that a couple years ago. And I want to say it was before all the new construction, but I want to say we did like a fingerprint lab too. I don't remember the instructor, but I remember, you know, like getting a piece of like special tape and you would put it on like a glass or something and pulling the fingerprint off of that, and how interesting that was.
It's amazing. I love it.
Now, Morgan, is there anything like that, anything hands-on that you do with your paralegal studies?
For right now, no. It's more we're in our books, which I really like as well. I'm a visual learner, so having that right there with me as I learn and taking notes really helps. We've talked about a lot of stuff, really. I mean, we've talked about how you have to leave lights in your house. You can't take them out. You can't take anything that's attached to the house has to stay. And if you take that, that's a lawsuit right there. Because it's attached to the house. It's there with it. It's permanently there. Let's say that you put a light fixture in, a chandelier. That's actually happened to me. I used to live in Gardendale, and I moved to Hayden my junior year. The lady wanted our chandelier. She paid a bunch of money for it. It's a huge, beautiful chandelier. And I think it was like $5,000. And she was like, if you want to sell it back to me, I'll pay you the price for it. You're not supposed to take those out because it doesn't go with the house. I mean, you can tell when someone takes something out.
So does that like involve like renting or like overall buying a house when you already own it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it goes all.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, a house is a house. I mean, land is land. You can't change land.
So, Morgan, I got a question for you and for Ashley eventually, but I'll start with Morgan. What are you planning to do after Wallace? Do you have any transfer plans, maybe going to a university?
I don't have any transfer plans, but I do plan on working in a law firm.
In a law firm. Gotcha. Sweet. Sounds good. What about you, Ashley?
So I want to go into forensic pathology. I have to go 4 years to get my bachelor's and then 4 years medical school. I'm in between transferring with Auburn or UAB. I still haven't decided because it's a hard choice.
Well, as I said earlier, I had an aunt that did it at UAB, so I would recommend UAB.
Yeah,
Sounds
everybody's
like a little
recommending.
bias.
So, Ashley, I understand that both of y'all are on the executive board, but what is your role in particular?
I am the secretary, so I take notes. I make sure to write down events, important dates on like what we talk about during our meetings. So
Gotcha. And was that a position that you're very excited about?
it's like my second time being a secretary. I think I applied for a lot of things. Secretary is something I'm interested in because I'm organized. I like being on time for things. I plan things ahead, like way ahead. So I think secretary doesn't fit me a lot.
Gotcha.
I'm not that shocked that I got it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, it's good that you got experience. That's half the
Yeah.
battle right there. But yeah, and I guess I'll throw the same question over to Morgan.
I am the vice president, so,
Okay.
you know, I check in on my other colleagues, I guess you could call them. And if Chaden's not able to do something, I'm his right-hand man on that one.
Gotcha. And was that a role that you applied for specifically?
Yes, that was the only role that I applied for. I saw the other ones, and they didn't really stick out to me as much as that one did because I'm not as organized as Ashley is, and thankfully she's our secretary, so I don't have to worry about that or taking notes because I do zone out a lot. But I do like helping other people. So vice president, knowing that president was already taken, vice president was something that did interest me because I knew I could help out everybody else.
Alrighty. Now, it has come to my attention that y'all had a service project relatively recently.
So we actually met there. That's when we first met, and we didn't know that we both signed up to be on the e-board. This was at the Coleman Animal Shelter. Basically, they have dogs there that need some attention, you know. They're looking to be adopted, or they have already been adopted, but, you know, you have to wait. And we met by, was it Finnick?
Yeah, we got the name of the dog.
Okay.
He looks like a Finnick fox. I was
Yes,
like, why don't we just name him Finnick? And she was like, yeah, that's actually pretty good. And it actually stuck. So if you go on their website, you can actually, or is it Facebook?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Their Facebook.
You can see his name up there and see.
He got adopted.
He got adopted, and he's a beautiful fox-looking dog.
He's
Gotcha.
gorgeous. I just wanted to say that I still volunteer with them, and they love their animals. They treat them with respect. They give them all the love. And I just wanted to say that they do need donations to keep what they have going. And adopt a dog if you really like dogs, guys.
Or just go volunteer, because
Yeah.
they really do need volunteers.
They
there.
have cats too, so
If you're not a dog person.
yeah, they're sweet, amazing people. They're just amazing because of what they do. They see a lot of bad things, and they're still happy, and like they give their all.
Gotcha. Yes, I have to check all that out. But they don't have chimpanzees or anything like
Nah.
that. Oh, well.
No, last time I checked.
You could get a lion.
Okay. A lion. Oh, but no chimps. Morgan and Ashley, I wanted to thank y'all again for joining us. And, yeah, I just appreciate y'all finding time to sit down and talk to us about NSLS and, you know, a myriad of other things.
Well, thank you for having us. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here.
Thanks again to our guests, Morgan and Ashley. The main topic is hosted by me, Jay Salvey, and I wanted to take another bit of time to thank our audio and video editors, Arleth Flores and Reagan Armstrong, as well as our graphic designer, Caitlin Hicks, and the communications and marketing department here at Wallace for making the main topic possible.